I'm Paul Higgins, an ex-corporate executive turned business owner who for 5 years struggled to grow a cloud consulting business whilst battling a chronic disease. With the help of mentors and experts, I got the business model right, built a sales and marketing engine, and developed a high-performing team that ended in a successful exit. I received a kidney transplant from a mate, and now on my second life, I dedicate my time to helping other cloud consultants scale quickly with less effort to enjoy life. Detecting an accent? I'm an Aussie working globally from Melbourne, Australia. I interview successful cloud consultants sharing their scaling stories to give you inspiration and practical tips. I have dedicated experts for cloud consultants on the show to save you time and money by working with the right people. If you want to scale quickly with less effort to enjoy life, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Imagine this. You've left your corporate role to pursue your dream, running your own tech consulting business. Your network propelled you initially and you got a few contracts through agencies. Lower margin, but it's okay. Why the tech side is pretty easy because you love it, you've got an absolute passion for it. The marketing, sales, and team creation are much more challenging than you initially thought. You get bombarded on LinkedIn every day with promises that are normally false starts. I don't know about you, but I've lost so much money where an expert said they were going to do something for me and they've sadly left me in the lurch. Surely someone has figured this out. Hello, this is Paul Higgins and welcome to my podcast, episode number 497. In today's solo show, I will give you 7 game changers and tell you where you can get some help as well. Now, let's dive into these 7 game changers because there's quite a bit of content to get through today, but it's all content that's going to definitely help you and it will make a big change in your life. And if you aren't at your desk, don't worry at all. You can get a visual at paulhigginsmentoring.com/game changes. There'll be a link in the show notes. And I'm also writing a playbook which has got all the meat on the bone of these 7 concepts. I was so excited and I've seen such a profound change that it's made. I wanted to get them out, but you can track my progress on the playbook and get ready for it by subscribing to my newsletter. Once again, all the links are there in the show notes. And if you ever get lost, just go to paulhigginsmentoring.com. So, as I said, today's going to be a helicopter view. So what are the 7? 1 is planning profits. 2, preeminent positioning. 3, packaging. 4, prolific promotion. 5 is profitable conversations. 6 is power partnering. And number 7 is people-centric engine. It was a bit hard to get the P in for the last one. But anyway, people's the most things. And look, there's 2 reasons that these all start with P. One is that it all relates to strategic profits. Profits is the most important thing. The more you get profits, it compounds your ability to make money outside of the risk of running your own business, right? And the second reason is because of my first name, which is Paul. So I thought I might as well all start them with P. So let's go into the first one, which is planning profits. When I was working on dialysis, I was doing all the sales and marketing activities for our tech consulting business, and life can throw you a curveball, right? Like it did for me being on dialysis. I sort of knew it was going to happen, but I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to work on there. And, you know, staying small, i.e. all of it dependent just upon you, is really risky. So knowing my financial position or knowing your financial position would have given me more motivation to make money, right? No, I left corporate and I thought everything was okay, but once I started eating into my savings because we weren't doing the sales and marketing activities we should, I really needed that impetus of having my financials all sorted and planned. So what I want you to go from hustling on getting cash into start with the end in mind. And there's 4 steps in this. One is really identifying your ambitions, both for you if you've got a business partner and also the person or the people that are most important in your life. Then financially model it, which I've got a great little exercise in doing that. Then building your business model to meet the financials and then having a 1-page business plan. So that's the first one, planning profit. So number 2 is preeminent positioning. So all I can say is if you get this formula right, it's going to make a massive difference and it's going to make you stand out. One specific person, one problem, one methodology. right? So most of you start out using the brand of the SaaS company, right? You're a Salesforce partner, NetSuite partner, HubSpot, blah, blah, blah. And you think it gives you credibility. Well, it doesn't. It just makes you the same as everyone else because everyone's got their certifications on there and someone goes there and it's like, okay, well, that's just a ticket for doing business, right? But it's not telling me why I should pick you as a Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever partner. You are not selling the platform or the features, right? You're selling the solutions and results. So you've got to go from taking any client to actually focusing and having the riches in the niches or niches wherever you are in the world or however you say it. So there's 4 steps to this. There's defining your category. So it's the way you position yourself, your ideal client profile, what methodology. So what is different to you versus everyone else, and also getting your messaging right. So far I've covered planning profits, number 1, and number 2 is a preeminent positioning. So number 3 is your packaging. Revenue is purely a function of volume times rate. I'm sure you've heard of that before, right? And the rate is in your control, even though a lot of people don't think it is in your control. Worrying about getting more clients, right, which you probably do a lot of, but what happens if you just sold at a higher rate to the people that you already have? Right? And they stay with you longer. Wouldn't that be such an easier and a simpler model? So pricing by the hour and by the project will not make you the money that you need to meet those financial objectives in number 1. So recurring pricing is what's going to give you the confidence and gives the ability to then sell your business if needed. So what we want to do is move you from one-off projects to recurring revenue. And there's really 4 steps in the packaging section. Coming up with your offers table, value pricing, price sensitivities, and recurring revenue. So as I said, I won't go into the detail of this. This is more of a helicopter view. But if you go to the link, which is paulhigginsmentoring.com/game changer, you will get that. Changes with an S. So far we've covered planning profits, preeminent positioning, and packaging. All right. So number 4 is prolific promotion. So people really don't buy on facts, right? They buy on emotion. Right? And they want to connect with you, right? And you probably think that, you really don't have valuable content to write about, or your content is not going to help you sell products, right? But it definitely is. And there's a universal content framework which helps you get to those emotional triggers and helps people want to buy from you, right? Because ultimately people are making their decisions reading your content, right? It's not happening in sales calls as much, and you can hear the Gartner and all the research is telling you that people are self-selecting, right? And they're self-selecting on the content you're generating. And if you're right in the framework, which is a universal content framework, that's going to make a massive difference. And also use things like Bard or ChatGPT as well. So what we want to do is moving you from thinking you don't have value to share to writing content with confidence. And there's 4 steps in number 4. So traffic channels, universal content framework, as I said, your killer marketing asset, and creating your list. So I've covered planning profits, preeminent positioning, packaging, prolific promotion. And once again, you can go and get a visual of this at paulhigginsmentoring.com/game changers or the link in the show notes. Okay, number 5 is profitable conversations, one of my favorites. So conversations that lead to conversions that lead to sales, right? Too many C's. So we talk about our features and products and we don't really ask good questions. I actually reviewed a fantastic client of mine, and he comes from a banking background, and I reviewed one of his sales calls today, and there was just so many opportunities to ask really good questions, but he just hasn't learnt the art of having those sales conversations, right? And business owners have ambitions, and if you don't know what they are, it really makes it hard for you to connect the dots and make sure that you are that one person that can solve their problem, right? You've got to have more conversation. So what we want to do is move you from timid to confident in asking good questions in those sales conversations. And the 4 steps is your go-to-market strategy, your sales conversations, your sales support, and sales enablement. So we've covered planning profits, preeminent positioning, packaging, prolific promotion, and profitable conversations. So the next one is power partnering, and people already have your audience, right? There is so many people that go before you and after you that have got your audience, and you've probably sold to one type of client in the past, right? I had a client recently that did a great job in selling to a client, and then he stopped. I'm like, what are you doing? Why aren't you selling? And firstly, why aren't you asking them if there's more people like them that they know, their peer group? right? There might be an association or something. But, go and sell to more of these people. You've already got a great testimonial, but no, what he was doing was about to go off and start down a completely different path, right? You do a good job and people will refer you, right? Your work will speak for itself. And selling one at a time takes a lot of effort, right? So what we want to do is move you from selling one at a time to leveraged sales. And there's 4 steps again under this, which are SaaS, vendors, strategic partners, partnerships, and complex sale. Okay, so we've covered the 6. I won't go through them all because I'm about to summarize them in a moment, but we're at the lucky last, right? People-centric engine. You get in the road of your own success and you don't have to do everything. Please stop it. Stop trying to do all tasks, right? You don't need to do everything. You can actually get people to help you. And you're probably doing tasks that you don't need to do. You might be skilled at doing them, but you definitely don't need to do. And only you can do the strategic tasks, right? And if you get caught in the small details and the small things, that just bogs you down, right? And you don't have enough time to really do the things that only you can do as the owner of the business, right? And I see this time and time again. I see people who haven't implemented these 7 steps. They go and do it, and that means that they've got to let go of the small things, but it makes a big difference. You can also get a VA and a sales admin to free you up as well, which I can help you with. So what we want to do is move you from doing it all to focusing on the strategy, focusing on the parts that only you can do. So there are 7, and I'll quickly summarize. Planning profits is number 1. 2 is preeminent positioning. 3 is packaging, prolific promotion. 5 is profitable conversations. 6 is power of partnering. And 7 is people-centric engine. But the bottom line is there is a path forward and you don't have to do it all on your own. Your freedom comes quicker if you get these 7 game changers right for you as a tech consultant. So here are the 3 actions. 1, get the visual at paulhigginsmentoring.com/game changes, and that's changes with an S on the end, and I'll have a link in the show notes. The playbook, get on the newsletter so you'll get an update on the playbook, and you might even want to help me write it. So if you are interested in that, please reach out to me. And the last one is reach out if you do need help based on today, right? You're like, oh God, I hadn't even thought of some of these things, and I know that that's going to make a difference, because the definition of insanity is doing the same things, expecting different outcomes. Please don't do that. So ready, set, go. See you next time on the Solo Show for more quick and simple ways to grow your tech consulting business and live more of the life that you want now.
Learning is just one piece of the puzzle. It is now time for action. Head to today's show page at paulhigginsmentoring.com/podcast. Get the links and put it into action. Head to your favorite podcast platform, subscribe, rate, and review the show. Suggest topics for me to cover at paul@paulhigginsmentoring.com. And don't wait one more minute to gain access to content, especially for you, a cloud consultant, at paulhigginsmentoring.com/newsletter. This could be the difference between wasting time figuring it out yourself or scaling quickly with less effort to enjoy life.